It was 7:45 in the morning, and we were already running late. I was rushing around trying to get everyone and all their stuff ready to get out the door. Lunch boxes, shoes, jackets, backpacks, and then I dropped my mug. Coffee splattered everywhere, and immediately a hot wave of anger flashed through my body. For a second, I thought, I'm going to lose my mind. My children stood frozen, waiting to see what I was going to do. I slowly exhaled. Asa, then 3 years old, reached for my hand. Mama, you sad? You mad? You frustrated? You a little disappointed? I didn't want Asa to worry, so I tried to shake it off. No, I'm fine. It's okay. I forced a smile. But Asa looked at me, head tilted. Then, why you take a breath? The question caught me off guard. I had taken that breath for myself. It was intended so that Asa wouldn't know how I was feeling. But of course, Asa already knew. That moment crystallized a powerful idea. We communicate our emotions not just through our words, but through our breath, our body language, our presence. In fact, we broadcast them with our very being. How we show up, how we engage, how we respond shapes everything. In psychology, we call this use of self. It's the practice of bringing our full selves into interactions with clarity and purpose. Who we are is always part of the equation, whether we acknowledge it or not. Use of self harnesses this, our emotions, our awareness, our behavior, to try to help create positive change. Now, maybe you're thinking this idea is just for therapists and counselors, but it's far more universal than that. I see it every day in my work with educators, caregivers, and nonprofit leaders, people on the front lines of human interactions. They are navigating complex problems, usually with scarce resources and under enormous pressure. Under enormous pressure. Oftentimes, in these kinds of high-stakes situations, it can be tempting to look outward for a solution, for a quick fix, or the perfect approach, or the next breakthrough tool. Use of self suggests that the most powerful tool you have is already within you. It's not a script, it's not a checklist. The strategy is you. Why is this so powerful? Because humans are wired for connection. Our emotions don't live just within us. They ripple outward. This starts in infancy. Did you know that when a baby and a caregiver lock eyes, their heart rates synchronize, their breathing aligns, and their brains light up in the same places? This co-regulation helps infants learn to read and react to others. And this doesn't stop in childhood. Throughout our lives, we absorb the energies and moods of the people around us. Think about it. Have you ever walked into a room and immediately felt the tension around you? Or found yourself smiling just because someone else was laughing? Neuroscience explains why. Our brains are constantly scanning for signals, even subtle cues like shifts in body posture or tone. Special cells called mirror neurons help us pick up on and reflect other people's feelings. This contagion effect is why use of self is so important. In classrooms, in workplaces, in communities, our own emotional state shapes the emotional state of others. When we regulate ourselves, it's not just about feeling better. It's about creating environments where other people can be more regulated and calm too. Use of self is more than intuition. It's a skill we can cultivate. Here's how. First, we have to recognize our patterns. Become a student of yourself, especially under stress. Notice what happens in your body, what triggers you, what thoughts arise automatically in challenging times. This isn't just background noise, it's valuable data from your nervous system. The more able you are to understand how your brain reacts, the more you can help it respond with intention. Secondly, regulate your responses. Emotions are natural and necessary. The goal isn't to get rid of them completely, it's to manage their impact. Here's a simple tool. Name the feeling. Labeling an emotion can actually reduce its intensity so that your brain can shift from reaction to reflection, which lets you focus and think more clearly. Thirdly, reframe your perspective. Our brains are wired to find patterns, so it makes sense that past experiences might dictate how we react. But we can interrupt these default responses by choosing to be curious. Instead of relying on assumptions, try asking, what else might be true here? This simple shift in mindset helps rewire our brains for learning and growth. And finally, repeat. This is not a one-time fix. It's an ongoing practice, like building a muscle. It will feel hard and challenging at times, but that's where the good work happens. Repetition helps our brain feel less scared and more able to adapt. Over time, it starts to feel more natural and helps us be stronger and more resilient. Imagine, what would change if more people moved through the world with this kind of awareness and intention? We don't have to look far to see the cost of the opposite. Where educators teach from fear, where leaders prioritize self-interest, where people in power make decisions based on unchecked emotions, the dysregulation spreads, creating unrest and division. But we don't have to accept this as inevitable. We can choose a different path. We can start with ourselves. This individual practice has collective impact because how we show up shapes how we engage in our communities, how we collaborate in our workplaces, and how we participate in our democracy. Each time we pause, notice, and recalibrate, we shift something. We create space for understanding, for connection, for a more compassionate world. And that's why you take a breath. Thank you.